Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Iowa Brainwriters Club. Today we have an exciting nonfiction book about the first woman pilot, Amelia Earhart. Let's dive into Amelia Earhart from National Geographic Kids, written by Caroline Croson-Gilpin. Are you ready? Who was Amelia Earhart? Words to know. Pilot, a person who flies an airplane. Airplanes were new in the 1920s. People mostly traveled by car or boat or train, but Amelia Earhart dreamed of flying. Amelia was one of the first women pilots. She was known all over the world. She did many things women had never done before. Growing up, the house where Amelia was born. Amelia Mary Earhart was born on July 24th, 1897. She grew up in Atchison, Kansas. She had a sister named Muriel. The girls played football and fished. They read books and collected bugs. Back then, girls wore long dresses, but Amelia's mother made them play suits. Then they could run and play like the boys. In her own words, "I believe that women have as much courage as men." Amelia's family moved a lot. She went to many different schools. Amelia made friends easily. She enjoyed making people laugh. When Amelia grew up, she worked as a nurse. Later, she worked at a center that helped poor children. Amelia loved to help people. Amelia in her nurse's uniform. A love of flying. When Amelia was 23, her father took her to an air show. She took a short ride in an airplane that day. Amelia fell in love with flying. In her own words, "As soon as we left the ground, I knew I myself had to fly." Amelia with the first plane that she owned. Amelia wanted to be a pilot. She worked hard to earn money for lessons. Amelia's first teacher was pilot, Netta Snook. In her time, many things were different. In the late 1920s and 1930s, jobs. Most people did not have a lot of money. There were not many jobs. Money. A stuffed teddy bear cost 98 cents. Radio. People did not have TVs in their homes. Most people listened to the radio. Fun. People played board games for fun. Cars. Cars were much slower than they are today. They couldn't go very far either. Women. Finding jobs was harder for women than for men. Some people thought women shouldn't work outside the home. Setting records. Amelia always tried to do better. She flew fast. She flew high. Amelia wanted to be the first woman pilot to cross the Atlantic Ocean. It was very dangerous. Many people had died trying. But in 1932, she made the long, hard trip. And she did it all by herself. In her own words, adventure is worthwhile in itself. Becoming famous. Amelia Earhart was becoming famous. She was well known because she was a great pilot, but also because she was a woman pilot. In her own words, women must try to do things as men have tried. Amelia taught women, college students, about jobs and careers. Not many women had careers in the 1930s, but Amelia did. She told women they could have careers too. Words to know. A career is a person's life work. Amelia wrote books about her flying career. She gave speeches all over the country. In 1933, she was invited to the White House. Amelia became friends with Eleanor Roosevelt, President Franklin Roosevelt's wife. She took Mrs. Roosevelt for a ride in her plane. Mrs. Roosevelt wished she could be a pilot too. The White House. Amelia and Eleanor Roosevelt agreed that women could do the same kinds of jobs as men. An American hero. Amelia got many awards and medals. She spoke to college students about aviation. People everywhere wanted to be like her. Words to know. Aviation, the world of flying and airplanes. Amelia at Purdue University. Amelia was not afraid to try new things, and she never gave up. She was a hero to Americans. Amelia helped test a parachute. Amelia was the first woman to get this medal. It is the U.S. Distinguished Flying Cross. 6 fun facts about Amelia. 1. Amelia drank hot cocoa and ate oranges on her plane trips. 2. Pilots used to be called aviators. The word comes from avis. It means bird in Latin. 3. Amelia married George Putnam in 1931. He published books. He helped Amelia with her career. 4. One of Amelia's planes is at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. It's in Washington, D.C. 5. Amelia was the first president of the 99s. This is a group of women flyers. 6. Amelia had her own U.S. postage stamp. It came out in 1963. Around the globe, Amelia always dreamed of flying around the world. She got a bigger, faster plane to make the trip. Amelia took Fred Noonan with her. He was her navigator. His job was to give directions. Amelia's job was to fly the plane. Words to know. Navigator, a person who uses maps to help find the way. In her own words, flying may not be all plain sailing, but the fun of it is worth the price. The last flight. Amelia and Fred flew for 1 month. They flew across deserts and mountains, but the hard part was next. They had to fly over the huge Pacific Ocean. A Lockheed Electra 10E airplane, the same model Amelia used in her flight around the world. 1897, born July 24th in Atchison, Kansas. 1916, graduates from high school. 1918, works as a Red Cross nurse. 1921, learns to fly from pilot Netta Snook, buys her first airplane. 1922, sets record for highest flying at 14,000 feet. 1926, works at a children's center in Boston, the cockpit of Amelia's plane. They would have to stop for gas on a tiny island. It was hard to find, but Amelia was brave. On July 2nd, 1937, she took off from her final stop. Suddenly, the plane couldn't be reached by radio. No one is sure what happened. Many people believe the plane ran out of gas and crashed. Amelia was never found. Amelia Earhart was a great pilot. She taught others to live without fear. She was loved by people all over the world. 1930, she sets the record for fastest flying at 181 miles an hour. 1931, she marries book publisher George Putnam. 1932, she flies across the Atlantic Ocean alone, landing in Ireland. 1936, Purdue University gives Amelia money to buy a Lockheed Electra 10E airplane. 1937, she sets off to fly around the world, disappears. July 2nd, 1937. 2012, new search begins for Amelia's plane. Nothing concrete found yet. Amelia's final flight. Start. America disappears over the Pacific Ocean. What in the world? These pictures show close-up views of items from Amelia Earhart's time. Use the hints to figure out what's in the pictures. Answers are on page 31. 1. Hint, a machine used to fly. 2. Hint, it protects your head. 3. Hint, they cover your eyes. 4. Hint, an award. 5. Hint, you can use this to find your way. 6. Hint, it goes on a piece of mail. Thanks for tuning in to the Iowa Brainwriters Club. I hope you enjoyed learning about Amelia Earhart's incredible journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time for more inspiring stories.